Hello and good morning everybody. Today we are going to discuss one legislation which is Code on Wages 2019. Wages 2019. You must have heard about this legislation. It is very much in news, very much in competitive examination perspective. So it is very important those who are preparing for UGC NET examination and also for other PSU HR examinations. So let's begin. So, as we can say, Code on Wages is a significant reform in India's labor law. Why? Because it has four labor laws under it, which means it simplifies the labor laws which are actually prevailing in our country. So it was passed on 30 July 2019 by Lok Sabha and by Rajya Sabha on 2nd of August 2019. So as I have written, it was passed in the year 2019, so August 2019. So it received the president assent on 8th of August 2019. So keep in your mind when it was passed, so August 2019, and when there is a date related, you can mark 8th August 2019 because on this 8th August it was passed from both the houses and from the president as well. So 8th August 2019. So what is the prime objective of this code on wages? So this code consolidates four existing labor laws. So as you can see, number 1, Payment of Wages Act 1936, the Minimum Wages Act 1948, Payment of Bonus Act 1965, and the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. So these four major legislations comes under Code on Wages. It is very much important question do comes in multiple choice कि who are the wages legislations comes under Code on Wages, and it is very easy as well said that the legislation related to wages comes under this act. Now let's see the objectives. So number 1 and the foremost is to simplify and standardize wage law, and number 2 is ensure universal minimum wages for all workers. As you might have seen that under different legislations the minimum wages may differ, so it creates one law for all minimum wages that will apply to all workers. Number 3, promote transparency and accountability in wage payments. So these are the three objectives primarily. And what are the key provisions under this code on wages? So it applies to all organized and unorganized sector employees. So previously we have a separate legislation for unorganized employee, but here in this legislation you can see कि both organized and unorganized employees are covered in this act. And point number 2 simply says that what it covers wages, bonuses and payments and rules regarding it for workers regardless of their wage limits. So there is no particular wage limits in this code on wages. Now let's see definition of the wages. So wages include basic pay plus dearness allowance plus retaining allowance, and also what are the things it excludes? So it excludes bonus, which is very much common and same, HRA, overtime, gratuity, retrenchment, compensation and other allowances. So these are not included in wages because these are fringe benefits and some extra compensation. So what are the wages? So basic pay plus dearness allowance plus retaining allowance only. Now let's come to minimum wages, to whom the wage we will refer to as a minimum wage. So there is a particular definition related to it. Now let's see what it says. So if you have studied previous legislations, you might have seen that minimum wages is a state subject where the state government is responsible for setting a minimum rate of wages. But here in this legislation, what is different? It says the central government will set a national floor wage and state government cannot set minimum wages below this floor level or wage. So we can understood in this that the central government set a floor level of minimum wage and all respective states government will follow the same. They can make a higher wage but no less wage than this floor level. Now let's see. So minimum wages will be fixed based on skill level and geographical area. So there are multiple skill level, as you know, Same is skilled, skilled and unskilled. So three levels of employees are there categorized. Now let's see factors determining wages. So there are multiple factors. You know it already that skill level. Obviously the skill determines the rate of wages you are getting. Nature of work, the work which you are performing. For example, it is of seasonal work or it is rotational work or it is clerical work. So nature of work determines your wages. Now cost of living index, as you know, cost of living allowance, which we generally refer as COLA. So cost of living allowance differs state to state. So when there is a cost of living index high, so you are getting a high wages according to this, and when it is low, so you will get a low wage. And also your geographical location matters a lot. If any employee works in an urban location which is very much different, very much modernized, very much technologically advanced, so here you can get a good salary, good wage. And when you are working in a rural area, so your wages might be low. So these are the parameters from which wages can be determined. Now let's see payment of wages. So salary ceiling will be below 21,000. All employees will be covered, and minimum bonus 8.33% or rupees 100, which is very much similar to our previous legislation if you have studied in Payment of Wages Act. And the maximum wages will remain 20%. So as you can see, these 3 points are very much similar to the Payment of Bonus Act 1965. Now let's see equal remuneration. So prohibits gender discrimination, equal pay for equal work. So in the Equal Remuneration Act, previously both are same point. These 2 points are very important, that it prohibits gender discrimination and also there will be an equal remuneration irrespective of gender. And also who are the authorities and implementation. So for adjudicating officer is who handle wage disputes, and number 2 is inspector cum facilitator, who will ensure the compliance. So only 2 authorities are there, adjudicating officer and inspector cum facilitator, who will ensure compliance. Now let's see what are the penalties. And one more point which is I missed just. Employee can file directly or through trade unions, which you already know. Previously we have already studied that for filing any complaint related to wage, an employee himself can file a complaint, or by the trade unions, by its representation through trade unions. So if an employer fails to pay wages, rupees 50,000 will be the penalty, and if there is a repeat offence, rupees 1 lakh or 3 months of imprisonment. And if somebody violates of equal pay rules, then 20,000. So these are the penalties which has more or less same. As you can see, violation is similar to Equal Remuneration Act, but if somebody fails or repeats offence, there is a 50,000 and 1 lakh rupees or both. So we have completed Code on Wages 2019 in a very simplified way. I hope you have understood, but I also suggest to go through the government labor laws PDF, download it and read it thoroughly so that you will have a better understanding. So in my knowledge and experience, I have not encountered much questions related to Code on Wages 2019 particularly, but one question was always there, like how many legislations are covered under this legislation, which is 4, which I just told you in the beginning. So do study this legislation. It is not very hard, it is very easy, and I have made it summarized. I hope you people have understood in detail, and if you have any questions, clarification, objection, you can comment. Thanks for watching and have a great day.